Welcome to the Sunday Roast, the show that overreacts to the weekend's footy, the show that roasts the losers and celebrates the winners, the show that gives you all the best odds of the weekend. It is the round 14 edition of the Sunday Roast, part 1. It is currently Sunday morning. We're covering everything that's happened, and we're going to get back on later and cover the games. Joining me as always, Darcy Ballard. Dobe, how are you, my brother?
I'm good. It genuinely feels like winter, though, this week. We have had some cold, dark mornings. It's been doggies. And not having Thursday night footy is an absolute slap in the face to all the fans. I know that they said that they reckon there might be a lot of fizzes towards the back end of the year with a lot of teams might not be playing finals. But how close is the competition? There's guys on 12th or 13th, 14th that are still on the same amount of points, 12th. So the Hawks are on the same amount of points as the D's, the Suns, the Giants, and the Bulldogs. And only 2 points behind Freo, who's 7th. And I just think that the AFL need to do a better job of making better storylines. Like, I know we had a prime time yesterday with like Dusty's 300th that they got around, but the NFL do it so good. Like, just make storylines for things. Like, even if it's like Jacksonville and they're doing shit, it's like him, like Trevor Lawrence, number 1 pick versus whoever they had. It was a former number 1 pick. Like, they just create storylines. So maybe the media needs to do that more. And with gambling being so big now, like, everyone just wants to have a punt. Like,
exactly.
Put up bigger promotions. Like, I just feel that they're missing a trick. I don't think they'll ever get rid of it coming on from next year, but it's the perfect time slot. Like, I reckon they get the most amount of ratings on a Thursday night. So I reckon they've missed a trick there, Jev, but obviously they can probably do it this week with all the buys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I do love it. And everyone loves having a same game multi on it and stuff, but I suppose they're not trying to promote gambling. And either are we. No, we definitely are. Hey, let's get to the first game, the start of the weekend. Brisbane Lions and Kilda. The Lions win by 20 points. The Saints actually had a crack in this game. To see the Saints kick 100 points was actually kind of good to watch. Did you watch much of this game, Das?
Yeah, I did watch a fair bit. So I wanted to start by saying, so the line was 36.5. I did say on the pod, I'm like, I would not take because I do love me primetime underdogs. I won't be taking the Saints in this one, but for the integrity, you got to take the points. Yep. And they were getting absolutely flogged in the first quarter, and you're like, "Fuck, this isn't gonna hold true." But another one, Jev, the primetime puppies, they only lose by 20, so you just take the points no matter where they are on a Thursday or Friday night. It was all over in the first quarter, and that was it. But it was good to see that Ross Lyon actually flipped the script a little bit and was like, "Well, even if we lose, how much better did that look compared to what they look like against the Suns?" Just
100%.
Unload the shackles. If you get scored on a bit, that's fine, but just try and go end to end. That's obviously where Brisbane do their best work, and they probably went away from it a little bit because they thought that this is going to be a very easy win. But I just want to go over one thing before you really take a deep dive into it. Is it time that we can say that the Butcher's dog is a premier small forward in the AFL?
He's fucking close, isn't he?
Is it time? So I just wanted to have a look at. So if you look at Bags, because he gets clumps of big goals, which a lot of small struggle with. Like in his career, obviously he kicked the 5. He's kicked 5 twice. And what's he kicked 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's kicked 4, 6 times, and then a shitload of 3s, a million 2s, and a bazillion 1s. He's a premier small forward. I was lucky enough, I got to watch him in juniors a lot because he played against my little brother, and he took the piss. Like we would have a guy, like our best tagger on him, and he would just kick 4 and have 30. Like he was unbelievable. He took year 12 off school just so he could train to try and make the AFL. And he did make an impact when he came on for the Tigers. I think it's time that we genuinely have to say that he is. Like, he's kicked what he missed 4 games with suspension. He's kicked 18 so far this year, 36 last year, 30, then 27. What would we say that the prime time is? If you're kicking around 45 to 50.
Yeah, for sure.
That's probably a bit. He's a fucking unbelievable small forward. So I just want to say that. How many times has he been like the number 1 for St Kilda because breast milk can't kick a couple?
Yeah, for sure. Nah, it's a great call. He's a professional forward, that's for sure. I can't wait I want to know St Kilda fans' feedback on this. So you win against Gold Coast in the most unwatchable defensive game ever. And it takes two to tango. Gold Coast weren't great. They were just chipping it left to right, left to right. St Kilda were folded back and defending. But then you open the game up a bit and you look so easy to kick goals against, but you kick 100 points, but you lose. Like, what do the Saints supporters prefer? Do they prefer that? Because that's the way, that's what the Swans do. The Swans kick 110 points every week. The Lions last year, like, good teams kick 100 points a week. So do you need to kick 100 points to win footy games, or does Ross Lyon go against the trend and play defense and win off the back of defense and trying to kick goals? I really want to roast the Saints, but I was actually pretty impressed. I liked how they went after Lachie Neale. You can't let Lachie Neale just run around on his own, Das. Like, I liked, as much as it is annoying and Windhager just fucking clamped him, like, there's a tick. So tagging him was a tick. Unleashing the shackles on Liam Ryan a bit, Das. So, like, you've got this guy across, like, let him be him sort of thing. So the Butcher's dog took one off him when he took that advantage and missed. Oh, that was a shocker, that one. Then he still kicked 2. Butcher's dog kicks 5. They have a heap more inside 50s. Max King looked half dangerous. Still wasn't amazing. But, like, that was modern football. And then Mitch Owens is just such a competitor, tried to do a job on Harris Andrews, but they still lost the game. And then on the other side of it, Brisbane, they are elite at kicking the football, Brisbane. Any player on their team gets the ball and they all take on 45s. Zorko especially, he takes on any kick and they just spread the ground. When they've got the ball off halfback, they go all over the ground, and if your zone's a little bit off, they just hit you in board, switch back in board. They are all elite kicks. You can tell that's their game plan. That's what they work on, is every player on that field can just kick the ball anywhere. And then, yeah, they're beat hip crease, old Thrushwood had a big game last week. Quiet as church mouse this week. Danaher gets on the scoreboard. It was actually quite an entertaining game. I was just all in on Rowan Marshall to kick a goal. 6-1 before the game. Us at the 100K market move. As soon as I posted that video, he went down to 440. Then they picked Tom Campbell in late emergency to ruck. I'm like, Rowan Marshall's kicking. Holy shit. I had him for 2 at 34 and I had him for 3 at 67-1. And they just couldn't get it to him in the forward 50. I was watching it like he was my son. Dan Butler, he had a shot for the first goal of the game, about 50 out, and Rowan Marshall ran across the 50 with no one on him. I'm like, just give it to him. He's right there. I had him for first as well. But, Brisbane were always going to win that game, but the Saints made it hard, but then made it easy because they were letting up too many easy goals. I don't know. It was just a bit of a weird game.
So let's say, look how much more dangerous they look because they're actually trying to move the ball. So if we go back, apart from round 8, so let's go from round 9. So 53 points.
Not enough.
You're not getting fast entries. Max King can't get dangerous. Yep. So even if you're losing, you want to give your players confidence, because how down on confidence they look, because they might only get 2 or 3 looks a game. You don't get it. You don't get a kick. So 53 points against Hawthorn, 55 against the Dockers, 62 against Melbourne, not 82 enough in a win against the Eagles, and then 51 against the Suns, and then 106 points. How much different does it look when you at least get the ball moving, players get touches, Owens get touches, the Butcher's dog gets touches, Butler's trying to look a little bit dangerous. I know Kamenides went down, but you can actually try and explore a lot more avenues. Sean Makers was kicking him out of his ass.
Yeah, he looks like a nice booming left, doesn't he?
I'd love to know, can someone in the comments, because I know there's a lot of Saints listeners, I was pretty invested in the draft last year. I know, me and Dickie the Shark were just looking at heaps of stuff. And I swear he was meant to go maybe 3rd, 4th round, but I swear he fucked up. Or it was something to do with drinking. I could be completely wrong, but if someone knows, because I remember reading something after, it's he should have 100% been picked up. So I think he just went to the VFL for a year and they showed, no, he actually is a gun. Yeah. And then he obviously got picked back up. But I'd love to know what that was. But his first kick was a laser. But then did you hear on the commentary, no one got to him?
Oh, really?
Apparently he hit that laser and no one got to him.
Yeah,
and then,
I did see it.
And then the other commentary is must just do it all the time, so everyone's used to it. I'm like, it's his first kick in AFL.
Yeah, it was a nice kick. Yeah,
I'm putting it on the menu. The culture at St Kilda is doggies. That's what one of the biggest things that you can control, Jev, is effort and getting around your teammates.
And like energy, vibe.
Energy. You can control it. How much if you ever butcher, like you went half-assed in a game, if you miss a tackle or miss a smother, but when you're pissed off and like you actually have a crack, how many, you get it all the time.
Yeah.
High fives, celebrate the small wins and get around each other. And I think St Kilda don't have it. And if they bring that, they're going to start winning football games, Jeff.
You and me, we love Ross Lyon. And I know that he's lost a few Saints supporters. Tell you what I didn't get. So they're playing Caminiti forward. He gets injured, like basically just rolled his ankle. He was fucking sore. He was going through a fitness test at quarter time. I'm like, righto, sub Zach Jones on, put Rowan Marshall forward, give Tom Campbell more of a ruck responsibility. It's easy. You just put Rowan Marshall. I know you love Rowan Marshall in the ruck, but if you've got another ruckman just sitting on the bench with Caminiti injured, give, 70% of the quarter Tom Campbell rucks, 30% Rowan Marshall rucks, and Rowan Marshall plays forward. But then they put Caminiti to centre-half back, and then they sub off Ace Cordy or Zane Cordy, whichever Cordy it is. And which Cordy is it? I don't know. But they sub off a centre-half back and then put a centre-half forward, two centre-half back that's banged up. I just didn't get that. Did Saint supporters get that one? Like, why did Caminiti go behind the footy when he had a bung ankle? And then why did you sub off your centre-half back? I was just so confused.
Might have been form. He only had 2 touches to half time. One in the first, one in the second. Yeah.
Which one's Cordy? Which
Zane.
Cordy is it? Zane, is it? Where did? Oh fuck. Anyway, Ace plays for Uni Blues in the VAFA, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So it's another one. But even form, like he's a centre half back. Even if he's only had 2 touches, just do not let Joe Danaher get another kick for the night. You know what I mean? You're a centre half back. Just lock down on Danaher. Oh, yeah. Anyway, another thing.
I've also got a right. Yeah, I've got a little roast.
Yeah,
I've got one. So I love if I'm driving to work on Saturday, because I don't usually watch the interviews and stuff after the game of Fox Footy. So I usually I get in the car, get a bean, drive to work or on the train, and I watch the last 90 seconds, and I love watching all the after game stuff, like the interviews and stuff. They got Logan Morris on, Jev. Great story. Kicked 3 goals. Can you just give us a little bit more, young fella? Can we just hey, mate, first time, obviously getting interviewed. How was it? Yeah, look, just proud of the boys. Good effort. Give us, I turned it off.
You just,
can we just get a bit more personality? Can we just get a little bit more from the players? Drop an F-bomb or something. Fuck, we were good day. Oh, sorry, boys. Sorry about that. Just tell us exactly how it is. I just hate how they're just so media trained. It does me rocking. I have to turn it off. It's give us something. Give us who's the shittest kick in the club? Just roast someone. Who's got a big hog? Who's the next Nahas?
Oh, speaking of that, on Swan social media, Ollie Florent gave Will Hayward his jersey for his 150th game. And he goes, Kinnear Beatson, I know at the Swans we recruit with a no dickhead policy. He's so I don't know how you slip through the cracks, but that's good stuff. That is good stuff. Yeah, we want more of that personality. Do you have the other thing? Oh, if you had to bet $1,000 of your own money, $1.80 either way, Brisbane to make the finals, Brisbane to miss the finals. What side are you leaning right now?
Make it. I said it a few weeks ago, Jev, and you're I don't think they're there. I said, I think Brisbane are coming. I really like how they're playing. You weren't so sure. We can go back and find it. Yeah. I can't be bothered. But I've said that a few weeks ago. I'm no, I still like where they're going. They've still got a good enough list. And now you see Loman, Logan Morris coming. They've just found a few other guys. So the structure of their team is still there. They've just lost a few pieces. So I still think they can make a 6th, 7th, 8th. Yeah. I don't think they're going to win it, but I 100% think that they're going to make it.
I reckon there's one spot in the 8 for the Bulldogs, Hawthorn or Brisbane. And I don't reckon 2 of those 3 are going to get in.
I'm sorry.
I reckon Melbourne are coming out. Melbourne without Petrarca for the year are coming out. I don't know who else is in there. But anyway, one other thing I had to say to you. I can't remember. Let's get some odds. Let's get some odds. Give me a Brisbane goal kickers.
Yeah, let's go Danaher for 5.
$12.50, pretty short.
Yeah, it is. Logan Morris for 3.
$4.70. That's nice. I know you liked Hugh McCluggage for 1 and 2. He was $6.25 for 2.
Yeah, nice. Hipwood for 2. That's fuck all. Kyle Lohman for 2.
$2.30. I love Kyle Lohman.
He's good, isn't he? Let's go St Kilda goal kickers.
Kilda goals, yep.
The Butcher's Dog.
For
Jack
5.
Higgins. Yep.
67 to 1.
That's awesome. Max King
That's
for
nice.
3. If Max King's for 3s in 2s or 3s, that's good value.
Nah, $5.25.
For a key forward, you shouldn't be that.
You should be kicking 3. So that's something we're going to look at. If they're going to play this faster brand and start opening it up, especially the back half of the year, they're not going to make finals. It's like, righto, we've got to learn to defend while still kicking 100 points. If we're getting $5.25 for Max King to kick 3, let's start going.
For anyone out there, if you're looking to win the Coleman, not that he will win it now, but they average about 3.2 goals a game for the season. So if you're getting anything above $2.80, $3, $4,
you got to take it.
Why wouldn't you take that one out? That's a great multi. It's pretty much it. Butler for 2, Henry for 2. And
I had Henry for 2 in a multi that didn't fucking win because of another leg. I had Liam Henry for 2 into Royal Marsh for 1. Henry was $2.15 for 1, $7.75 for 2, and 31 for 3. Should have kicked 3. We spoke about that on the Ramble, remember? And how many did Mason Wood kick?
1, I think. 1.
Yeah, and he was $1.97 for 1, $6.25 for 2, and he ran into the post instead of kicking a goal.
Yeah,
we spoke about those 2 on the Ramble. I remember it. Anyway,
Liam Henry's too unselfish.
Touches, Brisbane touches.
Zorko for 30.
Yeah. He was only $1.88. I was on him for 40 at 10 to 1.
So you did mention this. Darcy Wilmot for 25.
Ooh, that's nice. Darcy
halfbacks eat. You mentioned it on the pod, on the Ramble.
Yeah, $2.50. Halfbacks against St Kilda, eat.
And Berry for 24. Nah, not much else.
How many did Bruce Revel have?
Breville, the toasty machine, 13.
Ooh, so no legs. And then St Kilda touches anything here?
Sinclair 32. That's it.
Sinclair 32. He was $2.12 for 30. Not too bad. It's about it. Geez, I love Mitch Owens and the role he plays. Next game, Das. Under the lid, Saturday Arvo. It would have been goddamn freezing under there. The Bulldogs gave Freo the business. The fucking business. I cannot get a read on the Dogs because as soon as you think they're injured and shit, they do something like this and Freo disappoint you. The Dogs win by 67 points. They score 149 points. That's what Freo scored against Melbourne 2 weeks earlier, I'm pretty sure, 149.
Yeah. Well, when we did this, when we went on the Ramble, you said pick a line. I said I think the Dogs -5.
You picked the Dogs, and then we took the Freo line.
No, off a bye, I'm like, if you love it, we'll take it. But I'm like, I just think the Dogs win.
Yeah.
But I didn't think they were going to win by this much. So I just want to say the inclusion to Libba back in the side was unbelievable. In the first quarter, he had 10 touches and was pretty much playing on Sarong. Sarong still gets his own ball, so he's not quite much like a tagger. He just plays at a contest with him. He's like, and I'm just going to get my first hands to it.
Yep.
And then we sort of go through. Sarong still gets a fuck ton of it through the ground. Now, I only listened to most of this game and just watched the highlights this morning. Jamara still annoys me. In a game like this, he should be kicking 6 or 7. Yeah, he should. But let's just put all of our attention to 2 things. Treloar's season is fucking incredible. He's playing with some serious confidence and moxie at the moment.
He Australian had 40 lock.
All lock. That goal that he kicked, how he got it shrugged, ran through and then kicked it arms straight up. That is a man that's playing with confidence. And Bontempelli is coming for this Brownlow. So how many more rounds do we have?
I don't know, but he is
12.
Fucked.
As long as the Swans slow down, everyone else can try and come up. But he's playing with some. All right, so this is the call I wanted to say. Is Bontempelli the best player in the AFL?
Mm-hmm. He is. Nah, he is.
He's the best player in the AFL.
I think Heaney's in the best form, and Dacos could go down as the best player of all time. But this is like I said a couple of weeks ago. If you are building the perfect AFL footballer, you're building Marcus Bontempelli. He is fucking unbelievable.
So if he never wins a Brownlow, but we talk about, so he's the best player from our era,
Yeah.
but he just
Doesn't have the resume. So, is he, if you're, all right, both in their primes with zero resume, and you're picking Marcus Bontempelli or Dustin Martin, some people would argue Bont. But because we all know what Dusty did in 3 grand final days where he won 3 Norm Smiths, Brownlow and all this, and Bont doesn't have a Brownlow, it's sort of like, well, you can't argue those two. But when you watch footy, you're like, I've never seen a player like this good before in Bontempelli.
So can you talk, so on that goal that he kicked, BT and JB, like they commentated the night before on Channel 7 and they're dog shit. They just unleashed the shackles.
Yeah, they're fucking
and they were so funny. Oh, JB's like, Bontempelli, he's taking the piss right now. Because usually they say the P155, which is also funny. But that goal that he kicked was just absurd. He's playing some like unbelievable football at the moment.
Yeah, so they kicked to a 3-on-1. It was Jeremy Sharp, I'm pretty sure, like out the back. It might not have been Jeremy Sharp. Alex Pearce, who they're saying is All-Australian or close to, and Luke Ryan, who they're saying is All-Australian or close to. Bont goes up, creates a contest, brings it to ground, scoops it up, snaps on his left on all 3 of them. And it was just like, holy fuck, that's a good goal.
Can you tell me why, or do you know why? So on Triple M, they were calling Josh Tracy, our man, Pizza Hut, Dick Tracy, Dick Tracy.
Yeah, I think Dick Tracy is a old like movie star, old singer or something. Dick Tracy is someone famous. But I was listening to Triple M. I drove during the 3rd quarter. They were fucking hilarious about Dick Tracy. So funny, like, he doesn't want the ball, Big Dick. He doesn't want the ball. He has shot all confidence. He kicked the worst set shot I've ever seen.
Oh, he almost missed his foot, didn't he?
Oh, it looked like he kicked a hacky sack. It was fucked. Oh, Big Dick Tracy. I love him, and we love him at the 100K. Big Pizza Hut. Fuck. What else happened in this game? They just fucking smashed them. Like, look at the possessions. Bont 30, Bramble 30, Dale 30, Libba 30, Treloar 27 with Caleb Tarong there. So
let's get to some stats after you make this call because I want to see what the Brambled Eggs plays for 30.
We're not gonna roast Freo too much because they beat Melbourne by 90 points, have a bye, and then lose to the Dogs by 67. So they've still got a little bit of cachet on the big win, but they were 48 points down, I think, Das. I was listening to this bit on Triple M. They kicked 4 in a row. They got it to like 28 points or something, or 25 points. They reckon, I only heard this, I haven't actually seen it. Jordan Clark picked it up off the ground and he had 3 Freo players out. Like, it was going to be a goal. All he had to do was give it, and he didn't give it and tried to dance the tackler so he could use his kicking because he thinks he's a better kick. The Dogs turned it over straight to the other end, goal, and then they kicked the next like 4, game over from there. And they were all just like, that moment right there where Jordan Clark just didn't give the hands, just cost Freo any chance of coming back. So absolute coach killer, Das.
So culture watch. That's what we're going to say as well. So St Kilda on culture watch and Fremantle are on culture watch.
I don't know if culture watch. I want to know.
Watch.
I reckon Jordan Clark, I don't think he'll get dropped because of it, because he's fucking good footballer. I just want to see something come out in the media of how he dead set cost them the game.
Yeah.
So,
like, without sugarcoating it, he cost them the game.
Yeah. Caleb Sarong, another 25 games in a row, Das. We're coming up to 1 year. It was July 9th was the last time he didn't get 25. We're approaching a year of every single game he's had 25 touches.
Yeah, we mentioned it on the pod. The last time he didn't have 25, Jesus was still a chippy.
Jesus was a carpenter.
He was. He built some unbelievable things, that man, Jesus. Let's go through some touches. So Bontempelli for 30 touches, $3.60. That's not...
If they're playing under the lid, the Bont for a snag or 2 is just a lock from now on.
It is. So his touches aren't, because he had 19 the week before, but back to 30.
He's a better bet for a goal. He goes to dead set foot. I'm going to look up his last couple of weeks. You go through some more stats if you need anything.
Bailey Dale for 30 was $2.90. So the Brambled Eggs, you actually couldn't get him for 30, which is unbelievable. But for 25, $7.25, Morgs' man. For 25, that's incredible value. Who else we got? Libba, $1.88 for 25. It's just a good leg. That's why he's in the multi. And let's go through some goals. So my man, I actually didn't get on him, which I'm shattered. Riley West, Jeff, I've got on him. So his last 5 weeks, I've got on him.
Yep.
1 goal, 1 goal, 1 goal, 1 goal, 1 goal. Didn't get on him. He kicks 4 goals, $21.
He was really good as well. Bulldogs, he is a smart footballer. He's a super, super smart footballer. He's the sort of guy you want to get it to his hands on the top of the 50 and he just makes the right call.
Ed Richards' handball, underground.
Yeah.
Ed Richards is a fucking star.
He's a star. Yep.
Rory Lobb for 3 goals, $6.25. Jamara was short at 3, but still $3.25, Jev.
For a key forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is his value. Cody Waitman, what's he? $5. Bailey Bamfield, can't believe he kicked 3, $8.75. Sturt, what's he paying? $13 for 3. Treacy for 2 hacky sacks. Missed a couple. $1.73. Tim English, do we want to know what the translucent crayfish? $7.75. And that's pretty much it. Gallagher, fuck him. $2.90.
Good to see Cody Waitman back. Fucking love Cody Waitman.
Good player.
Bailey Banfield, he's a nice finisher. He can kick a nice goal. Kicked 3, kicked 2 in a minute, kicked 2 in a row. What did he pay for 3?
He was the sub for a year. I just mentioned before he was.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
You bastard. $8.75.
Tell you another one. A guy DM'd the 100K during the week. He said lock Tim English for a goal or 2. Kicks 1 every time against Freo, and he kicked 2 again.
Remember his goal the year before at the ground? He ran from half back.
Yes.
That unbelievable goal. Like he ran from half back. It was the most athletic play, and then he got it back and then snapped it. It was fucked.
This is Marcus Bontempelli's last 3 weeks. 30-3, 19-3, 38-2.
Wait, he kicked. Oh, yeah, the week before, yeah.
Against Collingwood. He has kicked 8 goals in 3 weeks and he's averaging 30 touches. He's averaging 30 and 2.5, basically.
So he's had 100 touches and 8 goals in 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's in some fucking form. And then he had 26-0 against the Swans, but he was good that night. We basically tagged him. 18-0 against GWS. He had a shocker. Then 32-2 and 26-2 the 2 weeks before that. He's just on fire.
Fuck.
He's fucking coming. Like, it's just going to be 3s stacked on 3s. He's so fucking good. Trelaw's having a good season and stuff.
Bond gets the 3, though.
Oh, Bond gets the 3. He needs a fucking Brownlow. I think it's so hard with the Brownlow this year because Dacos hasn't played today yet. So
what's their percentage, the Dogs, at the moment? 119. Oh, so it's not as much as what it was. I thought they would have boosted as well yesterday. Still pretty good percentage.
All right, let's go to the next game.
Yep.
92,500 Richmond supporters. It was in the top 10 home and away crowds in history to us. Come to just watch one man play his 300th fucking game. No wonder he didn't play it against Adelaide last week because you get 92,000 of your fucking faithful. Dustin Martin's 300th. Him kicking the first felt like a highlight you see on grand final day when he's kicking. The crowd, the hands, it fucking erupted. That's exactly why I was supposed to be there and I didn't end up going. I wanted to be in the building for that exact moment. It was fucking awesome. Dusty kicks first, but these Hawthorn Hawks, just like James Sicily after the game spoke about, like they knew it was going to be 90,000 and they couldn't wait to perform in front of the 90,000. Like, give us that crowd sort of thing. Yep. So the Hawks win by 48 points. They give them the business in the end. They are fucking sharp, the Hawks. Oh, talk to me about this game, Das.
Hate to say it, but I was absolutely correct about this Hawks side. I was absolutely correct. They should have been almost 8 on the trot. So I'll just get into my 3 takeaways from this game because obviously you've got a lot to talk about on the next one. James Sicily's kicking was an absolute feature.
It was a vision.
33 dozzies, 82%, 881 metres gained.
Yeah.
Like 28 kicks. But some of the kicks from like the back line were like fucking on a platter, like just faded over the top of the head of the defender, straight on and then through balls. So
yeah, he was beautiful to watch him
that was
kick the
magic.
footy.
He had another one of those games last year against the Pies where they beat the Pies. He had another one of those ones. So the young Hawks, Jev, I just want to read out some unbelievable, alarming stats from yesterday. James Warple, 25. CJ, 25. Will Day, 23. Newcomb, 22. McDonald, 21. Ginnivan, 21. D'Ambrosio, 21. Weddle, 20. Cam McKenzie, 20. The Wisnik Watson, 19. Kal Shadir, 18. No, they are not their disposals. That is the age of these players, Jev.
Yep.
That is the age of these players. 11 players from yesterday. I know that Dimmer said that 80% of the Gold Coast first premiership is in the building.
Yep.
You could almost say 85% of Hawthorn's next run is in that building right
100%.
now. The young talent that they have, and now that they're winning games, is off the charts. And like these games, they're only just going to get better and better and better. But as you mentioned, Jev, the biggest takeaway of the game, Dusty's goal was fucking incredible. The crowd was amazing. Like it's goosebumps when you rewatch that. And they showed at quarter time without the commentary, and it's just the crowd. Like it just amps up as soon as Ralph Smith just gets it, gives it off, and it was incredible. So if we have a look at the most aura that any player's ever had. So Dusty Martin completes my Rushmore of players that have the most aura I've ever seen.
Superstar, rock star, presence.
When you go to the footy, they don't look like a human being. Like they genuinely look superhuman. So I've had Gary Ablett Jr.
Yep.
When he was at Gold Coast, when he was at Geelong Fair, but when he was at Gold Coast, especially, like I'd go to games and you'd be like, "Oh my god, that's him." Chris Judd, 100%. When he was at West Coast and when he was at Carlton, Buddy Franklin and Dustin Martin. When you go see them, you're like, they just look different. Like
they're superstars on superstars. Like
you can't explain it.
Bontempelli's the best player, but then Dustin Martin is that A-level rock star, fucking superstar.
Well, I actually had here. So I thought, Nick Dacos is like he's getting there. When you go watch Collingwood play. He has it. I actually wrote it down. Like, so Bont is unbelievable, like what he does. But when I go watch the Dogs play, I don't think, there's Bont. Like, I'm not like you might. I'm not taking anything away from Bont.
You don't see as much work he does, sort of thing. Yeah.
But, like he just doesn't. I don't go to a Dogs game and be like, holy fuck, that's Bont. But the only other two times I just had to mention that I've genuinely had this, oh my God, when we saw LeBron twice and when we saw Brock Lesnar. Monday Night Raw. I could not fucking believe when Brock, like, I was genuinely like shake. I was like, that's him.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. You can't explain it. You get it for different people, but my four was Dusty, Ablett Jr., Judd, and Buddy. So they're my four that I've ever seen. Like, people always talk about Ablett Sr. was like God. You go to the footy and he's just like unbelievable. But the young Hawks were incredible. The Wizards this close from breaking it open. 1 goal, 4, one that he Jimmy Saluris straight up in the air, leant back on. But if there's one thing that I will say for the young fella, just tone it down till you start kicking a few more bags. You're shooing people up, waving in the crowd. But I get it. Like, I think it's quite funny. Like, he's decided to play the villain. He wants to be the villain, and good on him. He's actually taken a little bit of that away from Ginnivan. Like, you look at Guinea now, he actually looks like the best bloke of all time. But I think Bruce and Gunston will mold him into a little bit more, give him a bit more maturity. But he's shown that a few intercept possessions, some tackles, when to go for a little hanger. He's going to have a couple of games, Jev. You can see it's there. The hardest bit's to get shots on goal. But as I said, you still got to start kicking him first, son. But he's exciting to watch.
I'm so torn on the Wiz. Because
I know you are. I can tell. Like, you want to hate him.
You're
like,
so fucking polarizing. Like Papley times 10 of when Hawks are good, he's going to get jeered and Bronx cheers, and he's just going to cop it and he gives it back, and like he's going to be so polarizing. And if he's good, every club's going to fucking hate him. And if 100%. He's shit, he's just going to cop it. But I call Jeremy Cameron a ballologist. He can kick it from anywhere, doing any sort of kick. What's the opposite of a ballologist? A ball gobbler or something? He butchers the fucking ball when he has a shot. Fuck, he was hard to watch. He had 2 back-to-back set shots. He could have torn the game into shreds. 2 back-to-back set shots. He just did the stupidest routine ever. Running straight, couple of steps out to the right, hooked it across his body both times. It's like, just go straight. If you don't make the distance, oh, well, at least you kicked it straight. It was just, and then you think he must be a gun at snapping the footy. He's a little fella. They love a snap. Nah, bellies it. And it's like, he could have torn that game to absolute shreds.
It's good that like these are like the best learning curves for him. You think like he's gonna have all this tape from this year. Like his end of season review, it's gonna be like, all right, this is what we've done.
How many shots
This
on
is
goal
where we need
had.
to improve. Like, but he's got so much X factor about him.
Oh, he's going to be so
You can just see
polarizing.
making a final. It's like close at the end. You know, Jeffy Garlett ran into the open to finish it, and we're like kick it, Jeffrey. It's like the whiz just gets out the back, hand up to the crowd, like he kicks his fifth or something. But
no, yesterday was the first time where you can see going back to the VFL having 20-4 both weeks.
Yeah.
He's come back in and he looks like he knows his role and he knows what he has to do to dominate a game a bit more. And then he has 1 goal for, like, yesterday could have been 5 straight.
How much better did he look? I know we mentioned that round 1, but round 1 he was running in between every contest. Like,
yeah,
it's like you're a tourist, but you're not allowed to touch the footy. It was the worst role. But yesterday he got to go down, got to come up a little bit more. But, yeah, the Hawks were cracking in.
Oh,
they were cracking in.
They were great. Cole Shadir, I could not love a player anymore. He is fucking awesome. And I know he's only had 2 goals, 5 touches, 2 marks. He is just, oh, God, you'd be happy if you're a Hawk supporter. And the way Jack Gunston talks about him as well, you're just so happy for him.
Do you see like how he's coaching him and like apparently like it's his love child?
Yeah.
Do you see that footage yesterday where Gunston could have run up to the ball? Gunston runs towards the boundary and just points him into it.
Yeah.
And then Culture D got the lead up. It's just like, oh fuck, it's the best.
What else was I going to say? Did you see I DM'd Tim Tarano from the 100K account?
Did ya?
He posted Dusty's goal and I said, was it just unbelievably loud? I had fucking goosebumps watching at home. And he replied, same as the 2017 prelim. It was fucking incredible. That's what he replied. It must have been on the ground, just seeing Dusty kick that goal. It must have been just all time. Dusty's interview with Jack Riewoldt after the game. Oh, God. Jack was trying. I think Jack spoke a little bit too much, but Dusty gave the same answer 8 times. Just so grateful. Appreciate the fans for coming out. So humbled by this, all blah, blah, blah. And then Jack would ask him a question. Yeah, I was just overwhelmed with all the support. Thanks to fans. Love the Tiger Army. Then Jack would say, how you been going? Yeah, I'm just so thankful for all the fans. Like, fuck, it was a dog's breakfast of an interview.
It should have been a 3-question interview. That's it. Like, how do you feel about the crowd, whatever. And then just leave it. Oh, so is this it? No, I genuinely thought he was going to retire there.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm not surprised if he takes a month off.
Well, he's got the buy. Him just saying, yeah, Freo after the buy, let's go.
But
I
just
liked it.
go have a break for a month, go get some sun, and then come back for the last month of the year and just do a little bit of a goodbye tour.
To be fair, there's all that talk about him playing on the Gold Coast with Dimmer Hardwick. I can't see him playing in another jumper. It's either retire or play for Richmond. So,
mind you never said that. You didn't think Hodge would. You didn't think Mitchell would.
No, I agree. But I think he isn't he is a footy head. But I just think like he'd happily retire and just get out of the fucking spotlight. Like
it seems like can you imagine out of the spot? Imagine him going up on the Gold Coast. Imagine him winning one more flag.
Yeah.
And can you imagine if he went to the Suns and him playing on grand final day? How many Tigers fans would rock up?
Yeah. The one other thing I want to say, how you look at Hawthorn right now and you say, you go, he's a premiership player. He's a premiership player. Jack Ginnivan will be a premiership player for the Hawthorn Hawks. Chol, Hardwick, Cole Shadir, Dan Brescio, Jack Gunston won't be in their next premiership. Nick Watson, Dylan Moore, James Warple, Carl Amon, James Sicily, Will Day, Jarman Indley, Sam Frost, Jack Scrimshaw, Newcomb, Giath, Weddle, McKenzie, Nash, McDonald will all be in their best 22, their next premiership. And we always used to say, like, I can't see Lockie O'Brien wearing a premiership medal for the Carlton Blues. Like, you will not win a flag if Lockie O'Brien is in your best 22. Now he's been delisted. Give another guy a chance. He'll either make it or he's not, but you're not winning a flag. Like, I just look and I watched the Hawks yesterday and you go, 100%. There's so many guys, whether it's next year, the year after, but there's so many premiership players for the Hawks on that field.
It's weird. I'm still so high on them, and I thought that they would finish above Essendon at the start of the season.
You're on an all-time take there, Das. This could be an all-time. Hawks are on 28 points. Esther on 34. So it's 6 points the difference. They lost to them round one. Let's get Essendon's fixture up just for the next 4. So West Coast at Marvel, they'll win. Geelong at the G. Let's say Geelong at the G, Collingwood at the G, Melbourne at the G.
They lose 3 out of the next 4.
Let's just call it 2 and 2. Let's say 2 and 2. They're good enough to go 3 and 1, 4 and 0, and they're iffy enough to go 1 and 3. Now let's get Hawthorn's fixture up.
West Coast.
Do they play West Coast this week? Oh, in 14 days. So they got the bye now. West Coast, Geelong, Freo, Collingwood, Adelaide, GWS. Still tough, but they're that confident.
They love playing Collingwood.
Yeah, they do. Fuck, you're sitting on an all-time take that's going to come down to the last round.
And then they've got the last, so then they've got the Blues, then they've got Richmond again, then they've got North.
Wow, do they play Essendon again?
Nah.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I know. So they sort of missed that boat.
Oh, well. All right, next game.
Oh, do you want some odds?
Yeah, do I what? What do you got for me?
Let me go click back in that game. Sorry, guys.
Who do you want? What do you want first? Goals?
Well, first, Dustin for first goal. Morgs will post it as well. $10.50. Jev, you were on that?
Nah, Dickie was on it. I wanted it. I just didn't have any money in the account.
Didn't you? Fuck.
The Shark was on it.
Marbiol Chol for 4 goals. He was $7.
That's nice.
And then there's a heap of 2s.
And McKenzie for 2.
I sent this to Morgs earlier. Yeah, $8.25.
Don't
you think he looks like Sam Mitchell if he was in a can crusher?
100%.
Like a bit squashed.
Yeah, 100%.
A smaller version. Cole Shadia.
2.
$2.95. That's
not
awesome.
bad. Then there's a lot of ones.
Nah, singles. Fuck that.
Disposals.
Timmy Taranto. Tiger
30.
Fuck, he's been good since he's been back. $2.35.
Sicily 30. Should get 5 to 1 for Sicily.
$7.
That's nice. Newcomb 25.
$2.15.
Jaden Short 25.
So Jaden Short, never back him.
Yeah.
Oh, his line is he's fuck. He hovers on the line. He's like Bucks trying to make a take. He just sits on the fence, and you're always on the wrong side of it. So $2.45. He's a great player, but you just can't back him.
Yeah, the Hawks keep it rolling. They go to the bye, one of the hottest teams in the comp. Is it going to be a Hawthorn Carlton prelim, Das?
Nah. See, I just don't think Hawks are making the finals.
I just look at the finals.
I hope they do. I would love for them to squeeze in like they're the 8th and like they bounce out, but what an experience for them.
They beat the Dogs. Have they beaten Freo? Don't know.
No.
Like, they're just as good as the Bombers.
They verse them down in Tassie. That's a graveyard for Fremantle.
Yeah. All right, next game. The Showtime Swans. The hottest ticket in town. The best team since the 2000 Bombers. Go to Adelaide Oval. Win by 42 points, Das. Just get it done. Joel Amati, the Amati party, kicks fucking 9 goals, 1 Das. 10 possessions, 9 goals, 1. He was on fire. I am losing words to talk about this team, Das, and I know I'm going to crap on in a minute, but you go first. I told a guy in the DMs that we'd do this game last after we do Collingwood North and GWS Port. Then we'll come back to this game so I can just crap on to the end of the pod and cunts can turn it off if you want. But bad luck, idiots. It's now. Talk to me.
Well, let's timestamp this. So we're currently
43 minutes, 28 seconds.
So this will probably take us through the hour. So we won't go more than 15 minutes on this, guys.
No,
and then we're going
that long.
And then we're going to start. Yes, you probably will. So let's just have a look at the Swans. Just like to play from behind a little bit. Just guys, let's try and make it a little bit fun. That's what the Showtime Swans are doing, Jeff. It looks like they're trying to take the piss a little bit. You call Grundy. I'll let you get into him. Joel Amati. So let's have a chat about. If you're a forward, how easy it looks to kick a bag when it happens.
Yeah.
You know, you back someone for 3 goals, they just don't get near it. How easy is it? Like, you kick 1 in the first, Well, no, Dinky won the first.
Had 0 possessions at quarter time.
And he just comes out and you just kick four in the next. And it's just like, geez, that was easy.
Yep.
Like, how easy is that to kick a goal?
And
when you keep it open, you kick it to advantage, and you have some elite ball users. So I just want to say, so we used to coach against him as well. So Hayden McLean and Joel Amati used to play in the same side. I'll say, like, they never felt like they were really good players, but I never thought that they were going to be like AFL players, let alone like very, very good AFL players. Like, they were good. Like, Jack Higgins was the one where you play against him, and you're like, fuck, he was a jet. Like, they were both tall kids. And just to see what he's doing now, you're so happy for him because him and Doss are like really good guys.
Yeah.
And just like, you never thought that he was going to take that spot. So you can officially say, Jev, Logan McDonald is gone. Goodbye. They're going to get rid of him. You're going to get some more first-round draft picks. You're going to take them. You're going to dish them out eventually in a few years. You're going to have Taylor Adams retire. You're going to have Luke Parker probably play 1 or 2 more years. And then you're just going to get another inside mid for a premium price with those 2 picks because your academy have a lot more players coming through. So strength to strength, Jev, and the Swans are going to keep rolling on. So I'll let you shit on about this, but Heaney just keeps stacking votes. It's just not fun for Brownlow night at this stage. I don't mind if the Swans keep winning because that means the other teams don't get close to the Blues. But if we can really just slow up on the Brownlow, that would make the night a lot funner.
Fuck, he's just been unbelievable, Isaac. Righto, where do I start with this game?
Start with the first quarter.
No, I'm not going that much. No. So, the Crows rocked up with a game plan to beat the Swans, right? And this is what I love. I want to see how teams plan on beating the Swans. David King and Kane Corns, did you hear him with Sam Mitchell on Fireball Friday? They go, Sam, what's
double tag?
They're like, what's something left of center to beat the Swans? Like, what do you do to beat the Swans? And Sam's like, Mitchell's like, oh, I don't play him again, but, you know, and he said a few things, but anyway, and Kingy and Corns were throwing up, like, what do you have to do? Do you have to tag Warner and Heaney and Goulden and Blakey? So what I noticed the Crows were doing, so first they brought Max Michaelini back from halfback back pocket up onto the ball to sort of stand on Chad Warner or Isaac Heaney. So he was sort of doing a bit of a tagging role or just being around the ball. And then what they were doing with Chad Warner is they weren't tackling him. They were just corralling. So they just kept him in front because, you know, as soon as he breaks that tackle, he's broken a line and he's running and taking a bounce. So they weren't committing for tackles. They were sort of just corralling, keeping a meter in front. And you sort of saw Chad, he'd go like, he's sort of like, come on, come at me so I can step you. Sort of like in rugby league. And they weren't coming. So then it's like his computer was like, bibble bop. So he was turning around and kicking it 25 meters backwards sometimes. I reckon they did a good job on what they did to Chad Warner, but he still had 20-odd touches, still kicked a goal, like still dominant. But I think they put a bit of tape on competition like, nah, you nearly don't tag this bloke. You just corral. Because as soon as he breaks your tackle, he's fucking out. He's leg speed and everything. So that was good to watch. Yeah, the Crows came with, I thought the whole of Adelaide did that. They sort of corralled the Swans. No one committed to tackles because as soon as you're tackling Isaac, he gets his hands free, gives it off to a runner. That's how we break lines. It's that one broken tackle, bang, bang, bang. They all just, in a way, didn't tackle. And then they were coming from the halfback. They were taking their opportunities. Isaac Rankin was fucking awesome. It was good to see him back out there. Darcy Fogarty was taking his chances. Jordan Dawson, we were tagging. He was doing what he does. James Rowbottom was on him. That was a good battle. They were about, the whole game, they were about 15 points up. Like, we were keeping it close. They were about 30 points up, Das. Then Amadi went bang, 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 bang. 4 goals in the second quarter. I think it was about 8 points at halftime or something like that. Then the third quarter was about 15 points.
Undisciplined.
Then I'll give, watching the game, I felt bad for Adelaide with some of the free kicks the Swans got. It was sort of like just timely free kicks, like a push in the back of the centre bounce into a deep entry that then we got another free kick. And then the bump on Taylor Adams, we got another free kick to kick a goal.
No, so that 15 point, yeah?
Hey.
Was that Hinge or Dawson that ran through him? Mitch
Hinge ran through him, bumped him. Adams got into Hinge going 7 goals on him, and then he bumped him and crunched him, and he got a free. So it was sort of like the umpiring wasn't too bad, but it was just a couple of timely free kicks that went the Swans' way, that didn't go Adelaide's way, that made that 15-point lead turn to 0. And as soon as the Swans hit the front arse, it just went, they kicked 6 goals in 12 minutes. David King said after, we won by 40 points. We were down all game and won by 40 points. It was 15 points down halfway through the third quarter and we won by 40 points. Like, we just put the hammer. So, like, if you're thinking of beating the Swans, you can't be too far in front. We've seen 3 times now. Carlton were 4 goals up. Geelong was 6 goals up. Adelaide were 4 goals up. If you heard Isaac Heaney on Triple M after the game, he goes, yeah, we saw Geelong was 6 goals up. There are margins you can't come back from, but 6 goals is nothing. We were fine with that. It was even at halftime. If the Swans are 50 points up, you're not coming back on us. Like, we're too good. We kick too many goals. We're too good at ball movement. You got to drop. If you go head-to-head with our midfield, because you've got to, and you go head-to-head with Chad, Errol, Heaney, and our ball movement, you're not going to come back. You legit have to be within 2 points at the end of the fourth quarter and beat us right at the end, I think. I don't know how other teams are beating us.
So if you could have one thing right now for the rest of the season, you could ask for one thing for the Swans, what would it be? For the rest of the year?
No injuries.
Yeah, no injuries is good.
What are you thinking?
You want one game at the MCG in front of a big crowd.
Yeah.
That is exactly what you want.
Against.
You want one more. I just find it so bizarre that, like, especially when they fixture out the back end of the year, that like I get it, that's the comp, but it's just like the fact you guys don't play at the MCG for the rest of it. What do you have, one game this year or 2?
Yeah. We played a few early. We played
Richmond,
Hawthorn, Collingwood, and someone else. I went to all of them. We played
3,
Richmond,
yeah.
Hawthorn, Collingwood, definitely. Did we play Melbourne? No, we didn't play Melbourne. Yeah, I went to all of them, but it was annoying. It was all done by like round 6. All our
I just find
games.
it like if the club could ask for one thing, I just find that like that is what you want. And I don't know, I'm not a player, but just like having, whether you got to travel a lot more, you play at like the smaller SCG, but just having those big games, like as we said, like Carlton get to play there every second week. Collingwood get to play there every second week. It's just like, it's a fortress for Collingwood.
Yeah.
Like if you had to play prime Richmond there, you're just like, fuck.
Yeah, they were just unbeatable.
Remember they played 17 games there? Yeah, I think in 2017 or something.
Yeah.
They literally played 17 games there, 1 at Marvel and 5 on the road.
Yeah.
That's
fucked.
it. That's it.
It is fucked. And let's give a bit of love to Joel Amati. Kicking 9 is a fucking bag in today's AFL. And then they dragged him with 3 minutes to go. You see him all laughing on the bench. And John Longmire was just like, we got to get him fresh for next week. Didn't want him to get injured because everyone knew it was going that way. We got a DM in the 100K saying, can't wait to hear how I react to him kicking 9 on the Wombat. Mark Keane. Morgs' man. He's kicking 9 on the big Wombat. Did you see, he was strutting around like he was Tony Lockett, Jay-Z. Do you see that goal? Logan McDonald snapped it high in the air, 3 Adelaide players in the goal square, and he just ran back with the flight, chest mark, kicked off goal. It's like, how confident was he? He was just chest out, and that's the thing Buddy Franklin taught him the day he got there. He just taught him all to walk a little taller, walk with your chest out, walk with a bit of swagger, like you are the best player in the field. And I could just see it last night in Amarty's. He wasn't smiling like this is a shock. He's like, nah, this is fucking me. Like, just give me the ball. I'll kick it.
It's almost a perfect game, Jev. So he's had 7 marks, 10 kicks, 9 goals, 1. So he's had 10 shots on goal.
Yeah.
He's had 10 shots on goal. So do you think Logan McDonald goes now?
Well, it was going to say he was staying. I wouldn't say we lowballed him, but he's getting offered at least $250,000 a year more. I don't know whether he's going or not. But
so what do you get him for? What pick was he? 6, 5?
He was picked 3.
Was he? But was there
Will Phillips 2, Logan McDonald 3?
I thought Will Phillips. Yeah. So anyway, top 5 pick.
But
so what do you get for him? 2 firsts?
He's playing right now like the contract's looming over his head. Like he's been shit house the last 2 weeks. Like we've been coming back from 6 goal margins, Showtime Swans, the greatest show to watch. And he didn't kick a goal against Geelong, cost you a multi, and he kicked 1 last night and was nowhere to be seen. But
I'd love to have a camera. I'd love to have a camera on him last night and just
Yeah.
watch his body. Like, was he celebrating with the boys? Is he happy for Amadi? Because that's when you know good teams. Like everyone else is getting around everyone, but I can deep down. He's just like,
I want to get a behind the goals footage of Amadi of McDonald for the game. That'll tell you if he's staying or not. Because if he was celebrating like he was kicking those goals for Amadi, I reckon he's staying. But if he was sort of just like giving a high five, loping around, you'd probably lean going.
Also, because we're closing in on this hour, the thing is, if you do the double tag, the handovers have to be absolutely perfect when you're swapping. So that Heaney goal, he just slipped down the back and then Papley found him at the back. And then Fogarty's sort of there like, what the fuck am I doing here? He's like, why is he marking that? So if you are doing that, your handovers have to be like pristine. You have to be like, I'm on him, you're on him now. Like you can't sort of play a zone because that's when teams are going to You're just going to slice through teams. Like it's too easy to get lost. It's like, I'm actually going to go up the ground now. You go up, and then we'll swap in like 1 minute. Yeah, and we'll swap straight back. So you got
to have a player in like the like Mark O'Connor from Geelong, someone that can play on Isaac when he goes forward as well. Like someone that's confident, like Max Michaelani last night. So he's done his apprenticeship down back, brought him to mid. If he's going to play on Heaney, it's got to be all over the ground.
You needed three, say you got 2 players you pick.
Yeah.
And you got 3 players tagging them. So if one comes to the bench, you can have the other one on. Yeah. And there's always 2.
But you can't do that. It'll just fucking ruin the system. Tell you who I love their game of last night, Taylor Adams does. We've been saying a lot like, he has to be nervous for when Luke Parker's ready to go. And Callum Mills.
He's going to miss the grand final again.
Oh God, he has to be. But him and James Jordan lined up on the half forward line. It's like we've just recruited 2 role players with a bigger name than Matt Cottrell sort of thing. They just get on their bike and go chop out Isaac and Chad to run forward, and that's what they do.
All right, so we're almost heading into an hour. Let's go through some odds.
I didn't mean to do it, but we did.
Yeah, sorry. All right, let's go through some touches. We didn't even touch on how good Goulden's kicking was.
35. If we're giving Brownlow votes, so Amadi gets the 3, I think Isaac gets the 2, and I was thinking Grundy won, but Goulden's had 35 and a fuckload of meters gained.
So 35, Jev, is 560.
That's nice.
Rory led for 30 was $2.
He was horrible. David King called for him to be dropped after the game does.
That's awesome. Fuck him.
Mitch Hinge, 30.
What the fuck's Mitch Hinge? 775. That's
Brody
nice.
Grundy, 30. $18 to 1.
Let's keep going through. And not too much else. What's Heaney? Heaney's $1.51. Yeah, it's short.
Heaney's line is 26.5, and he touches on it every week. So he's had 2 at 29.
Yeah, I said he's averaging like 26 and 1.5 goals a game, which is fucked. So let's go through some goals quickly. Let's save Amadi for the end. Taylor Adams for 2.
He was 360 for 1 because I had it in a multi.
Taylor
775, I think.
15,
yeah. 361, 15 for 2. Fogarty 2 will be nothing. Rankin back for 2.
Rankin was $1.99. Isaac Heaney's $2.08. So you think that they're not going to kick it. You're like, fuck, they keep kicking goals. They're going to stop kicking, but they do. Now let's go to Amadi. So let's go through.
Go for 1. 1 is like
$1.17.
$1.17. We had that in the 100K. 2.
$1.92.
That is a great league. 3.
$4.
Here we go. 4.
10.
Yes. 4. 5.
5 goals was $26.
26. That's pretty short. And then 6.
101.
Oh, 101 to 1 for 6. And he's kicked 9, which means 7 would have been like 170. 8 would have been 250s. And 9 would have been like 500 to 1.
Yeah.
Wow. It was fucking awesome seeing a guy kick 9 last night.
Yeah.
We're unmissable. We're unmissable TV, the Showtime Swans. We put on a show every single week. Every fucking week.
I feel it's like almost watching...
The 96 Bulls. The Showtime Warriors.
Almost, yeah. More Warriors.
KD Steph Warriors. This is what it's like watching.
It's more Globetrotters. So that their skills was supreme. You get it out the back and then you just see Heaney kick I mean, like Goulden kick these left footers, but it's just not like you just like this. You just clap, you're like, oh, like wow. Like you become numb to it, like how good some of the foot skills are.
I can like go through. I'll go through our last 5 games, and you can just remember who did what and why we're so watchable. So the game against Carlton, what do you remember from it?
Oh,
Heaney and Warner, 3 each.
Yeah.
Turned the third quarter. It was just like unbelievable footy. Next, the Dogs under the lid. Warner kicked 4, should have kicked 5, took a hanger. Next, we had a bye. Yeah, bye. Then Geelong last week.
No, fucking everyone.
6 goals down. Everyone kicks a goal.
Yeah.
Got it done. Then last night, Marty kicks 9. Every week we play, it is unmissable TV. Showtime. I got in trouble. My missus wanted to go on date night last night, and I'm like, the Swans are playing on TV. Like, we're not going to. She's like, so we're just sitting on the couch watching footy. I'm like, of course, the Swans are playing. It's the best. It's like the best movie you'll ever watch. Like it's the Showtime Swans. We have hit the hour, Das. We did it. We've still got 2 games to go. We apologise if I crapped on too much, as I always do about the Swans. Fuck.
2 games are going to be interesting.
North Collingwood, if you had to give a winner and a leg, or a winner, a margin, and a leg that hits, go.
A winner? Let's go. What's North's line?
There's a late out for North. I'm going to go find it.
Nah, fuck. No, I'm going to go North's line. Fuck it. I'm just going to give him a chance. So 41.5.
Yep.
Juicy.
Josh Dacos for a snag or 2.
I'm also taking Harry Sheasel for a snag.
Nice.
I've got him for 1, 2, and 3 today. And in the other game, I'm so torn. I think the Giants have to win.
I can't wait to watch our man Finn Callahan. I just don't know
just because Port Adelaide, Jev, they've still got a couple games in lieu. I mean, like on the ladder. So what a Port are 4th. Giants should be up there. They're 9th. So I just think it's going to even out.
If the Giants lose today, it's alarm bells.
Yeah, no, but I just think they win.
What do the Giants have to do today to make you go like, yep, there's the team playing in a prelim? Is it win by 50 points?
What do the Giants have to do?
If they only beat Port by 10 points at home, it's ugly. It's not that impressive. No one's going to go, yeah, there they are. If they win, they have to win by 50, 60 points to go, that's that team we've been expecting all year that's going to play in the prelim.
The game that I want to see them play is the round 1 against Collingwood. So they win by 32 points and just absolutely come in fresh. Like Whitfield 33, Kelly 32. Obviously, he's not playing. Tom Green's 30 in goal.
Josh Kelly is playing.
Oh, he's back?
He's back, yeah.
Perfect. So, like, that's what you want to see. Callum Brown kick 5, Binger Daniels 4, Hogan kick 4, Cadman kick 2. Like, they just would absolutely pure dominant. Like, they were off the park 10-fold better. So that's what I want to see them cracking. Hopefully, when we get back, we see that. Also, going for Butters to have a career best game.
Butters 25, Rosie 20, Horn 20 and 2. This could be a belter.
Hopefully.
It's going to be all right. See, an hour and 2. We've still got 2 games to go. That'll be quick, especially North Collingwood. That game's doggies.
Yeah, we're going to whiff through those teams.
All right, see you, bro. Well, it could be a good game to talk about, Jim.
Yeah, people don't like those teams. So
all right, see you, bros. All right, we're back for the last half of the Sunday Roast. We have just had 2 games. The best game of the year and an absolute stinker. And before we left, it wasn't what we predicted to us.
No, it wasn't. Well... Technically, what did we say at the start before the North one? I think I said North at the line you take, which is 41 points, which is absolutely shut in. And I said Sheasel for a snag. Yeah. What did you say?
I can't remember.
Josh Dacos for a snag.
Yeah, he was dog shit. He turned the ball over every time he touched it. So let's cover this. Collingwood win by a point. This was an all-time game. So I was driving for the first half and Triple M were just going nuts. At just North were just kicking snags. And how many goals did they have at halftime? They had 14 goals at halftime. 14 goals 2 at halftime. They finish on 19 goals 4. They lose by a point. They were 54 points up, and just like the Grim Reaper, they just closed and closed and closed.
I watched the first half and had to watch the highlights when I got back. So I was out for the summer, and I was like, mate, they've got it. How good is this? 45 points up, 46. I think when I watched that, 48 points up. So I didn't see what did it get to 54 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was there. I was like, fuck. Unreal. Like, hope they obviously go on with it and then check it. I'm like, oh my God, they've lost by a point.
Oh,
They've lost
dogged
by
it.
a point. So I went back and watched, skimmed through. What happened?
Well, first of all, they brought Will Phillips in to tag Dacos, and then they subbed him off. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I did see that. He kicked a good-as goal in the third quarter. I watched.
So Dacos won them the game, 100%. Probably gets 3 Brownlow votes, maybe Bobby Hill. But so Dacos has had 7 touches in the first, getting tagged, not too bad. 4 touches in the second. They're down by 40-something points at halftime. 8 touches in the third, 10 touches in he kicked 2 goals and 8 touches in the third, and then had 10 in the last to win in the game. He had 3 goal assists in the last quarter.
That's cooked.
He was so fucking good. He was so good. And then I don't know if you've seen the decision at the end.
Was it meant to be
should have been paid?
Yeah. So, why isn't that paid?
Yeah, it was a bit of a funny one. I think
they've been paying that the
Collingwood.
last 3 weeks.
Yeah, they just sort of ran at him and it was a mark, and then they looked back at the umpire like, oh, it didn't travel 15, but it probably should. I don't know. It should have been paid. Then Zach Fisher lost him the game twice. He had a kick out of full back and he just missed the kick. Still side bottom, scooped it up, kicked to Bobby Hill, goal put him in front. And then he had a shot on goal that they thought he kicked it and it ended up being a point at the end there.
God, that would hurt more than any loss.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the worst loss you can possibly that? That's the worst of the lot of them. You're not getting you're up by 54 points.
And
Jeff, let's honestly put the roast hat on for a minute. They fucking dogged it. That was so weak. Alistair Clarkson dogged it.
I was ready to come on this pod and be like, the old dog Clarko taught Craig McRae a bit of a lesson, because in the first half he was out coaching him. What they were doing is they were kicking between the 50 and 70 metre mark, then going in with deep entries and just getting super dangerous, like Larky one-on-one with Paul Curtis nearby. And if it wasn't Larky, it was Curtis nearby. And if it wasn't Larky, it was Curtis. And they were just doing all this different stuff, and they were just playing so well. I'm like, Clarko's putting on a coaching clinic, he's still got it, and then they've fucking dogged it.
Oh, Jeff. So LDU and Wardlaw put on a clinic in the first half.
So in the last quarter, Jared DeHealy was all over it in the commentary. George Wardlaw went to go to the bench. He was fucking spent, and they just turned him away. They said, you have to be out there or else we're losing this game. He was the difference between winning and losing. I think that's his first career 30-touch game. 1 goal, 30 touches.
Jeff, I just looked who got subbed on.
Who? Liam Shields?
Jaden Stevenson.
Yeah, and he fucking sucks.
I swear he was a sub.
Yeah, he did. No. Yeah, he was.
Oh, why? That is so heartbreaking.
It's just fucked. Geez, Tristan Jerry was good. So LDU's had 30. Wardlaw's had 30 and 1. Bailey Scott, 23. Cam Zerhal's kicked 3.
Geez, I called Sheasel going forward.
Yeah, that was a good one. He's kicked 2. What did you get? I can tell you the odds for 2.
9.25 I got him 4.
Smalls, Bobby Hill 5. He gave young Jackson Archer a bubble bath.
Oh, you know who gets a bubble bath as well? Darcy Moore.
Nick Larky loves playing on Darcy Moore.
Oh my God. It. Like a fly on shit. So this is he can't play on those athletes. He can't play one-on-one. He plays in a system defense. I'll never forget when Tom Lynch had 7 and 25 on him.
Yeah.
It's encrypted in my mind, 7 and 25.
Tom Lynch couldn't move yesterday.
Yeah, he looked sore.
He was running average.
So Alistair, he cops the biggest roasting from this. Why? So you're trying to get some confidence into Jaden Stevenson and be like, all right, Will's done the job. You've taken him off arguably the best player in the comp.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't get it.
It's absolute blood in the water. And this, for everyone else, so this loss, Jev, for Collingwood, for everyone else in the comp would have been great. It's this is a big ego smasher on them. It's fuck, maybe they can't do it. Maybe they can't go back. This is the worst thing for everyone else. Their belief now, to get a win like this is what they did 2 years ago against North. Remember, North were up at 30-something points at the MCG, and they just beat them by 2 points. It's
Jacob's debut year. Yeah, I remember it.
Oh,
I don't know how North lost this. Collingwood, I don't think Collingwood are that good. I really don't, but
I still think that they're good. Like, I just think that it doesn't matter what sort of gameplay you do.
Yeah.
They're the big boogeyman.
That's the
and
thing.
It doesn't matter.
I look at the names on the park. I'm like, they are not that good, but yeah, it does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
Keep it close. They have so much confidence in their system to win a game. They've got Nick Dacos. They've got Steele Sideburn, all these guys that just love the moment. DeGoey and Pendles to come back in.
Oh fuck! All right, let's give me some odds because this game, like, I feel sick.
Oh, North would feel sick. Righto, I've got North Melbourne goals here. Larky for 4 was 6-1.
That's awesome.
Zerha for 3 was 650.
Paul Curtis for 2. Sheasel for 2.
260 for what's his name? Paul Curtis. Sheasel 975 for 2 would have been nice.
I had him for that. And Tristan
George
Xerri
Wardlaw was $2.90 for 1. Tristan Xerri was $4.10 for 1.
Told you it's a hard name to say when I said it on the intro.
Collingwood goals. Bobby Hill was 16-1 for 5. 51 for 6 would have been nice.
That's so short, $16. Like, who's touching that apart from the Hill family?
Exactly. It's still 5. Lockie Schultz was 925 for 4. Anyone else? Dacos 220 for 2.
I'm going to have to look at what their total is for the year. I said at the start of the year they could kick 80 between them. I don't think they're anywhere near it.
See, Amadi's in the top 5 of the Common all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's a pretty short count this year.
Yeah, they're all just in the 30s.
30s and 40s. I don't even think anyone's in 40s.
They just kick 2-3 a week. There's no big monster bags. Yeah, so Ben King's leading on 38. Joel Amadi's on 31. King, Curnow, Waterman, Hogan, Amadi.
Yeah, nice. So the biggest bait goes to Alistair. So who do the Pies have next? So this is the thing I want to look.
They've got to have a bye.
They do. So
they got a bye.
Collingwood, Adelaide, St Kilda, Bulldogs, Hawthorn, Richmond get a bye. We'll go to the next game and then we'll touch on next week.
They go to the Suns after that, which is never easy. But you know what Collingwood are like when they travel after a bye? They just go, Nick Dacos freshens up. So round 16, so we got one more round of buys, and round 16 is when we get back into full slate. So there's Friday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games on the Saturday, 3 games on the Sunday. We'll be back. But let's get back. Final game. This game was cheeks. GWS win by 20 points. Port Adelaide off a bye, kicked 6 goals for the game, Das. 6. They scored 51 points. It was like watching St Kilda. They did not give themselves a chance to win this game at all. It was so hard to watch. Toby Bedford tagged Zach Butters. So Adam Kingsley has shown that Zach Butters is their best midfielder, which everyone knows. Talk to me.
Yeah, I didn't watch a lick of it. Just like a bit of the highlights, like from when I was skimming through. I was going to watch the rest of it. I was doing some cooking and I was like, you know what? This game's cheeks. You were saying it's cheeks.
It was cheeks.
So this team, I don't rate Port Adelaide. I don't rate them. I love Butters. I love Rosette. I love what the Hornet does. And I definitely think they can pinch games. That's why I thought Carlton were immoral against them the other week. Their only win, good win in the last few weeks was against Hawthorn. They were down by 40 points and they had to come up with a miracle to win that. They're not that fucking good. Charlie Dixon is beyond done. You can put him in a ditch, in a retirement ditch now. Let's next week have an open retirement for Charlie Dixon.
Is he on take behind the shed watch?
Oh, no, he's there. He's laying down ready to go. You know when
he put himself behind the shed.
I had a dog that we took to the vet, and sometimes I've actually had 2 previous. One's a bit shaky and they don't want to go. It's so sad. The other one just lied down. He's ready. Ready to go. He's like, boys, I've had enough. The body's done. So this is what I think. Can we have what movie is it? It's The Hangover and it's Anchorman. You know where they're at Brick's funeral and they're all there with him? Why can't we do it for Charlie? Let's just have a retirement next week. Before the game, instead of a minute silence, they just go, Charlie Dixon's retirement. And he looks up, he's like, oh. It's like, yeah, this is your last game. This is it. And we just do it then. We finish it off. We don't have a little farewell tour. Who do they have next week? Who they got? They have a bye, do they? There you go. Hey, it's a home game against Brisbane, Jev. Saturday, 1:45. Charlie Dixon's retirement. Let's try and get him a couple of goals and we'll send him off. What do you reckon?
Yeah, fuck. So I just don't get Port Adelaide. They just put so much talent on the park and then they're just ass crack. They are cheeks. So, like, you've got Butters, Rosie, Horn, Francis. They would nearly be the starting three midfielders for every single team in the comp. You've got Mitch Georgiades, who's a nice forward. Todd Marshall, who we think's a bit of a skirt. Alir, who's an All-Australian defender. Sabra de Galea, Brandon Zerk-Thatcher, Dan Houston off the half-back line. There's names everywhere. But I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's coaching or whatever. They just do not gel as a football team. And then the Giants in this game, they were back with great ball movement off half-back. Just their execution inside the forward 50 was so hard to watch. What Tobes kick? 1 goal 5. Jesse Hogan 1 goal 3. They were doing those ones where they were running into open goals from about 55, 50 out, and they'd try and they'd kick it like full 45 over there to try and hit an open target and miss. When the bloke probably could have had a shot, they did it at least 10 times. It was fucking hard to watch, and Tobes lost his confidence, so he started handing them off, and we just loved us when Toby marked it anywhere within 50, just turn the back, go back, kick him. But he lost a bit of confidence. Jesse Hogan couldn't get his hand on the ball. Jake Riccardi was a bit iffy. They're always going to win this game. They never looked like losing, but they just butchered a bit. But they did look back off the halfback. The Tsunami looked back. I'll give them that.
I've got a new category for us, Jev, that we have to start looking into. So there's certain players that when they're in the side, they just win. They're different. So Collingwood can win without DeGoey. We've seen that.
Yeah.
Carlton, we've actually seen, as much as I love him, but we can win without Sam Walsh.
Yep.
We've shown that. When you look at Hawthorn, when Will Day's in that side, they're a completely different side. The Giants, that's Josh Kelly. When he's out of the side, they're completely different. When he's in the side, how much more run do they have? That extra bit of class, that touch, and not only that, because he's such an elite runner, he just spreads the field. It's like if you're a defender in between him and Whitfield, maybe one will go and one the other. You've got to pick, and then once you overextend, it just stretches the field, and he uses it so well, and he hits the scoreboard. He's unbelievable when he plays, especially that's when Cog plays as well. They've had not those two and a couple other injuries throughout the year. The start of the year, they were 5-0. They were running on water. So with him back in the side, it's just an extra piece to the puzzle. How was Tom Green today? I saw he had 30, but
he had 30. He's just inside, too big, a lot of handballs. He doesn't really break the lines like the others. I wonder if internally Josh Kelly is the Giants' best player. I wonder if you asked all the players at GWS, they're sort of nah, Chook's our best player. He kicked the seal tonight. He's always running hard to get on handballs. I wonder if we all talk about Toby Green and we talk about Sam Taylor and we talk about Tom Green and all these guys. And Whitfield, but I wonder if internally Josh Kelly is their best player because I think he might be.
So I'm interested to know. So Carlton's game plan against Port Adelaide was let's not let Houston and Farrell get the footy. And GWS have just gone, let's let them get the footy. Houston was the highest ranked player on the ground with 35, and then Kane Farrell's had 30 touches. But
these two
teams and the Dogs are the worst goal kicking teams in the AFL.
Yeah.
Every week they kick 1,000 points.
You put a midfield on the park, right? So Port Adelaide's 3 best players are Butters, Rosie, Horn Francis.
Yeah.
Right. So, let's just say I compare them to Heaney, Gould, and Warner.
Yeah.
The 3 Swans players get involved in the chain from back 50. They get the ball in the middle of the ground. They give hands to give every deep entries. Watching tonight, it's Dan Houston and Farrell get it off the half-back line and just kick it over the midfielders' heads. So unless Butters only dominates if the ball's at contest, he doesn't actually get the ball around the ground enough, especially when he's getting tagged by Toby Bedford who can run with him. Same as Horn Francis. He doesn't get many uncontested possessions, he's either taking a mark at full forward or he's breaking away from a stoppage. And Rosie just looked a bit caught in the middle as well. What did he have? He had 14 touches.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good shout because when you watch, I think the Swans, they're like 80% of their score or 90% is through one of those three. It's like the highest of all time.
It gets in the hands of Chad, Errol, and Isaac. And then I'm watching, and it's, Farrell and Houston have had 35 and 30 off the half back, but then their mids have done absolutely nothing with it. And that's probably where you got to give Tom Green credit on his game because he's just big. He's won the stoppages all day. So he stopped Butters, Rosie, and Horn at the stoppages. He's been the big dog. And then they've just kicked it over their heads all day, and they're kicking between the arc to arc all day.
So were Farrell and Houston kicking it to each other? So they've had 35. Let's go down. So Quinton Arkle had 4. Ollie Lord subbed off with 4. McEntee had 8. Soldo had 6. Willem Drew had 9. Radaglia had 8. Marshall had 8 touches.
Drew's a midfielder. How does he get 9 touches?
Georgia, no, he's forwards. That's fine. Bergman around the halfback line, 14.
Yeah, he played on Toby Green.
What the fuck were they doing?
Yeah. They just couldn't get their hands on the ball, I think. If you were to rewatch this game.
I won't.
No, trust me, don't. It should have been 19-9 GWS to probably 6 goals. Yeah, 6-15.
Yeah, so
maybe 40. 10 goals, 10. Legit. The GWS Giants, it should have been 55 points.
All right, give us some odds. Let's have a look at this.
Yeah, these games stank. What should have been a big game stank.
Georgiades.
Hang on. Give me GWS goal kickers.
Callum Brown.
For how many? 245. Not bad.
And then all singles. That's shit.
Oh, that stinks. Any weird singles?
Nah, Harvey Thomas.
Yeah, $2.50.
Yeah, that's average.
All right, give me Port goal kickers.
Georgiades for 3.
He was good. $4.20 for 3. The big lamb pizza. What do you call him?
Marshall, one goal, 3. He's a myth.
Oh, $1.13 for being weak.
God. What, Dan Houston for 35? Or you going to go GWS?
No, go GWS touches.
Tom Green, 30. He would have helped out some multis.
$2.12. That's nice.
Whitfield, 25. Kelly, 25. Fuck all.
Kelly, $25, $1.86. Whitfield, $25, $1.27. I was on Finn for 25 at $2.45. They only had 22, a bit stiff. And then Port Adelaide touches. It's just the 2 big dogs. So Dan Houston for 35 was 18-1, which is pretty nice. He was 91-1 for 40. Wow. And then who's the other one?
Farrell.
What's his name?
Farrell.
Yeah, let me find him. For 30, was it? 16-1. Pretty nice. So you got 16 and 18-1 for Houston and Farrell. That would have been a big multi.
We don't tip, which is bizarre. I guess so many people come up to me, how do you go in the tipping? I'm like, we actually don't tip, which is bizarre.
Yeah, we don't.
So, but I would have got them all right this week.
Let me have a look. I would have
got Brisbane over St Kilda.
I would have taken Brisbane for sure. I probably would have taken Freo maybe. You would have taken the Dogs. You were bullish on the Dogs.
I would have taken the Hawks.
I would have thought about taking Richmond as well, Dusty Rounds. You would have taken the Hawks. You're bullish on the Hawks. I would have taken the Swans. I would have taken the Pies. 100%. We love North of the points. And we would have taken the Giants.
We said the Giants had to win.
Righto, because we don't tip, let's tip now for next week and we can read back on it. So you're going to take the Blues.
Comeback game.
I'm taking the Blues as well. Port, Brisbane at Adelaide Oval. Fucking hard tip.
Yeah, I'll go Brisbane.
I will too. I reckon their big dogs are going to kick a lot of goals. GWS Swans. I'm taking the Showtime Swans.
Yeah, you got to
show on turf.
Let's say I'm down by a few tips. No, I'll just take the Swans. Who the Swans got the week after?
Oh, now this is interesting. Melbourne, North Melbourne.
Melbourne.
You reckon it's a lock?
At the G.
Oh, I think they are weak as water, the Ds.
They can't lose 3 in a row. They can't get swamped, then lose again.
They're $1.15 on Sportsbet right now. I would not touch that with a 10-foot pole, that $1.15.
No, I wouldn't.
Essendon, Eagles and Marvel. Got to take the Bombers off a bye.
Yeah, got to take the Bombers.
And Freo versus the Suns at Optus Stadium, 4:00 Sunday afternoon.
It just seems like a game.
I just want the Suns to win away from home.
They don't look like that they will, though, do they?
Oh, they travel like Guinness, the Suns. I heard that one the other day. Travel like Guinness. They just get worse and worse the further from home they get, the Suns.
It's like a Bintang in Australia. Those things are horrendous.
Oh, they're horrible in Australia. In Bali, it's mother's milk. Over here, it's dog's ass. All right, that's the roast ass. Anything else you want to say?
Nah, just make sure everyone in Port Adelaide gets around Charlie Dixon's retirement game this week. There's 5 hours. It's 5 days, 18 hours, 42 minutes.
It's just you and me on the 100K this week. We are going to be fired up like two firecrackers. If you're watching this deep in the roast, like we're an hour and a half in now, send us some legs now in these comments so we can look back at them on the YouTube, or DM us some legs. Some $2 legs we can add.
We're going to go nuts this week. It's going to be like shooting from
Noah
the hip.
Anderson for 4.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, your internet's been dog's ass this pod, so Morg's going to spray you. And the second half of the pod might be unlistenable.
Charlie Dillon's told me to, if he's still listening to this far, Charlie told me just go absolutely nuts one week, and it's literally every time I talk, it's just a beep. Like
so I actually didn't even hear that one, so...
Half the pod's unusable. Just have me just go rogue. But we'll see.
All right. See you, brother.
Have a good Sunday. But